let's talk about success. We're all taught to chase it, right? To hustle, to grind, to climb that ladder. But what if we've been chasing the wrong thing this whole time? We're not going to talk about the usual stuff. Instead, we're going to dive into these quiet but incredibly powerful ideas: energy, presence, and focus, and see how they can completely change what it means to live a truly successful life.
And it all starts with this question. Man, this one really hits home for a lot of people, doesn't it? You do everything right, you check all the boxes, you hit the targets, you get the promotion. And then, in the quiet moments, there's this feeling, this emptiness, this paradox is exactly where our conversation begins today.
And here it is. This is the core idea. The reason for that empty feeling, according to our source material, is that our whole approach to life and work is built on a shaky foundation. We're all so busy organizing, planning, and managing, but we're managing the completely wrong thing.
So what is that wrong thing we're all obsessed with? It's time. Think about it. Time management, productivity hacks, squeezing every last second out of the day. We're under the tyranny of the clock. But this first section argues that this obsession with controlling time isn't just a battle we can't win, it's the very thing distracting us from what actually matters. Okay, so this is where it all starts to click. Just look at this comparison. Time, it's external, it's out of our control, and once a minute is gone, you can never get it back. But energy, that's internal. That's something we can actually influence, something we can control. And this is the game changer. It's something we can renew. This is the big shift in thinking we're going to explore.
Wow. This quote comes from Eugene O'Kelly, a CEO who wrote this after he got a terminal diagnosis. When he was faced with a very finite amount of time, he had this incredible realization. The true currency of his life wasn't the hours he had left, but the quality of energy and presence he could bring to them. It's such a powerful lesson, isn't it?
All right, so if energy is our real resource, our most vital asset, then our focus, our attention, is how we spend it. This next section is all about treating that focus like the precious currency it is. It's something that you have to protect, and with some serious discipline.
Now, this quote from Warren Buffett, at first it sounds a little extreme, right? Say no to almost everything. But it's not about being a hermit or shutting the world out. It's about having absolute clarity. This is where we get this kind of counterintuitive idea that real success comes from subtraction, not addition.
You see, saying no isn't a negative thing. It's actually a deeply strategic act. Here's why. First, every no preserves your limited energy for what counts. Second, it puts up a guardrail to protect your focus from getting scattered all over the place. And third, and this is so key, it gives real weight, real integrity to the things you do say yes to.
Let's just sit with that for a second. Every no makes your yes more powerful. It's the ultimate takeaway here. When you finally say yes to something, it means you've intentionally chosen it over 100 other things. Your commitment is total. It's not diluted. Your yes actually means something. Okay, so we're managing our energy, we're protecting our focus with our no's. But let's be real, things are still going to go wrong sometimes, right? So what then? This next part introduces another huge idea. We have to totally reframe how we think about failure. We need to stop seeing it as the end of the world and start seeing it as our greatest teacher. I absolutely love this quote from the investor Howard Marks. It just perfectly sums up the whole idea. We tend to think experience is the list of our wins, but Marx suggests that the really valuable experience, the stuff that truly forges who we are, is what we learn in those moments of disappointment.
So here's a new definition to try on. Failure is just the tuition we pay for wisdom. Think about that. It's not a punishment, it's an investment. When you see it that way, it changes everything. It's not a fine you get for messing up. It's the price of admission for a lesson you couldn't have learned any other way.
And this chart just lays it out so clearly. Success, well, it teaches us comfort. But that comfort can lead to this dangerous illusion that we're in complete control, which makes us fragile. Failure, on the other hand, well, it's tough. But it forces us to face the truth, it teaches us humility, and from that we build real, lasting strength. The real growth happens on the right side of this chart.
This all leads us to a whole new model for success. This last section pulls all these ideas together and suggests that success isn't some big solid monument you build. No, it's something much more delicate, almost alive. It's like a fragile fabric that needs constant attention and care.
You know, we love those stories about the one brilliant move, the one eureka moment that led to a huge success. But this quote from Jared Diamond tells a much more realistic story. Lasting success is often about the quiet, consistent, day-in, day-out work of avoiding 1,000 tiny little mistakes. It's about vigilance, not just one flash of genius.
So let's just tear down the old myths for a second. Success is not a single towering victory. It's not just the product of some lone genius. And it is definitely not a static monument you build and then just admire for the rest of your life. It's not any of those things. So if it isn't that, what is it? Well, success is that fragile fabric we've been talking about, and it's held together by the humility we learn from our failures. It's a daily practice of paying attention and making small repairs. It's stewardship, taking care of what you've built, not an entitlement you've earned once and for all.
And as we start to wrap this up, this really is the core of the shift. We're moving away from a definition of success that's all external and performative, louder, faster, bigger, more. And we're moving toward one that's internal and qualitative. It's about being steady, it's about going deeper.
So here it is, the whole redefinition laid out. Success isn't about time, it's about presence. It's not about blind ambition, but about strategic restraint. It's not about one big victory, but about constant vigilance. And it's not a final destination you arrive at, but the direction you choose to walk every single day.
And maybe this is the most beautiful reframing of all. Success isn't some battle you have to win or a prize you conquer. It's more like a garden. It's something you have to cultivate with patience and with care. It's a process of growth, not conquest.
So we'll leave you with this one final thought, a question to take with you that brings all of this right back to this very moment. It's not asking what you're going to achieve or how much you'll get done. It's asking about the quality, the aliveness you'll bring to the hours ahead. How will you animate your time today?